About that one right there. He pulled it that bad.
Franco hit up around the right bicep. And so the Rays will have men at first and second as they examine Franco. Lopez with 13 losses. He's hit 9 batters this year, including a couple in his last start. And Franco is wearing this one.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll tell you, Lopez pulled that fastball. You see where they're setting up. They're setting up away, and he yanks that all the way back in and right into the rib cage area of Franco. That may have been absolutely nothing. I did not like the look of that.
Well, 2 men on. Here's Nelson Cruz. Pitch away. Cruz with 26 home runs on the year. 3 of 8 in the series. Back into the screen, 1-1. Brandon Lau opened with a double. Franco hit by the pitch. Up and in there on Nelson Cruz, and he's ducking that pitch.
Well, if they weren't already, I guarantee you that Rays dugout is up and chirping and into this game. You drill Franco, you buzz Cruz.
Now the 2-1. Ground ball, base hit through the left side. Hayes will charge it. Lau will stop at third, and the bases are loaded. Cruz with a base hit. Double hit batter and a single. And they'll be loaded for Austin Meadows.
Well, roll right out of bed. Another fastball that just catches too much plate, and that really has been the story of Lopez's season. Just too many hittable pitches. You know, he gets good velocity on that fastball up there, 95, 96, but boy, they catch a lot of plate.
Well, Austin Meadows doubled his last time up in the game last night. Starts the day with 21 homers and 81 runs batted in. Pitch is too low. Meadows 2 for 6 in his career against Lopez. Wide, 2-0. That double by Brandon Lau gives him 6 of 10 in his career off Lopez. And Franco hit by the pitch. Cruz with the base hit. 2-0 popped up left side foul. Urias after it, so is Severino, and that ball is going to fall right in front of both of them. Severino there, Urias out from third base in front of the dugout.
In play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a ball right there that you've got to catch. I mean, it's not like it's going to hit off the dugout, doesn't even make it into the camera well. It just falls right in front of Severino. I think maybe he thought he was closer to that low wall, the way that he had that glove out there kind of gingerly feeling for it, but hit snooze one too many times.
Ball 3 outside, now 3-1. The Rays with the bases loaded, no outs, and a 3-1 count on Austin Meadows. See how appropriate that graphic is. 8 grand slams. And a shot up the right side, foul, skipping over the bullpen. Out of play. And that's too close. Ball 4, and it forces home a run. Lau crosses the plate on the bases loaded walk. Bronco to third, Cruz to second. 82nd run batted in for Meadows.
Well, and already a visit out here for Lopez, and this is a game where the Rays have handled the Orioles in the season series and certainly the first 3 games of this series. Now you load the bases, you get a run walked home. You've got a chance to demoralize and take this team out of the game right now. Well, as they try to figure out how to get out of this mess, it's time to hear a word from Bayfront.
At Bayfront Health St. Petersburg, we know what it means to be here for our community. When you need care you can trust, choose Bayfront Health St. Petersburg, the official healthcare partners of the Tampa Bay Rays.
The G-Man Choi. His career numbers pretty good with the bases filled, including 2 grand slams. Does not have one this year among the 8 struck by the Rays. And he takes the ball. Leadoff double has led to a run. Now it's 2-0 to Choi.
I'll tell you that the body language of Jorge Lopez right now is one of which it just can't figure it out. You can just tell slow movements, the command not quite there. When he is out over the plate, the Rays have hit it hard, trying to figure it out on the fly here in a very difficult season.
It's foul back.
And not only that, these fastballs, that velocity's down 4, 5, 6 miles an hour. The last couple have been 90, 91, just kind of going through the motions. We don't see that quick twitch that we've seen from him before. In fact, his last start against the Rays, just earlier in August, 6 innings, 2 runs, threw the ball well.
Coming off a very difficult outing in Boston. That's foul. Shot up the right side. The count is 2-2. He gave up 7 runs, 9 hits, and 3 1/3 on the 14th at Fenway Park. And in 10 starts against the American League East, he has 1 win, 6 losses, and a .760 earned run average. And missed wide there. The count is full. Rosarena on deck. Three and 2. Choi up the middle, out at second. The throw to first is going to be in time. Well, the defense paid off that time. They had Martin, or Reyes, I beg your pardon, right up the middle. The third baseman was over in the middle of the infield there.
How about the skip off the mound? I mean, you could not have laid that out for Urias any better. Right here, this ball, boom, up high, easy hop, now run to the bag and complete the double play. Orioles fortunate.
So the Rays got the run on the double play. And here's a Rosarena. Grounded through the coaching box at third. So Lau and Franco have scored. Cruz is now at third. That's fouled right back into the screen. Arena red hot at the plate. And he lines it foul and broke his bat on the breaking ball there. So he'll head back to get a new bat.
Right off the end. I mean, right off the end. And you see the shards headed towards the Oriole dugout.
So new bat in hand. He's 7 of his last 10 with a 10-game hitting streak.
Yeah, that bat was done. Yep. He had used up the hits in that bat. That is for sure. Hopefully he picked the right one. The right replacement.
1 ball, 2 strikes. This one a long way, but well foul. Well, that bat showing some promise.
I got some life in it. I'll tell you, he has been some kind of locked in, handling pitches all over the strike zone, handling velocity.
Two and two. Double hit batter is single, bases loaded walk. Ground ball up the middle for the double play. They got to run home, and now the trainer comes out.
Dwayne, his fastball is down 8 miles an hour. I mean, they're up on our board. They're calling them changeups. Those are fastballs at 88 to 90 when on average he's 95. And
yep.
We've seen him get it to 96. So his fastball velocity is way down, and he just does not look like himself. So this is not really that surprising.
The Orioles gathered around the mound. Lopez talks it over with the Orioles trainer. Brandon Hyde out there attentive as well. And he's saying he's going to stay in there.
And that's, you know, that's what is strange, is because if you've got a 6 to 8 mile per hour loss in your heater from the start of this game, either something's wrong or what are you doing? I mean, that doesn't happen naturally. It's either a decision made by the pitcher or he's hurt. If he's hurt, why are you still out there? This is interesting.
2-2, and that's a strike call on the inside edge. So Rosarena caught looking. The Rays score twice and lead 2-0. The Rays host the White Sox Saturday. All fans receive the Tyler Glasnow bobblehead presented by Bayfront Health, St. Petersburg, while supplies last. Get your tickets at RaysBaseball.com. Well, the Rays have the White Sox coming in, finishing off the series with Baltimore today. Shane McClanahan, a 1-2-3 first, 3 strikeouts, and here's Austin Hayes leading off. Hayes takes a strike. Hayes 240 on the year with 13 home runs. 298 against lefties, and facing a tough left-hander here today. He's cued off the end of the bat. Changeup had him out in front.
Yeah, we've seen an awful lot of that early on here from McClanahan. Change of speeds. You know, that fastball you always have to account for because of the way he can throw it with such good velocity and fading action. But we've seen a lot of curveballs. We've seen the changeup, introducing everything early to this team.
Upstairs, fastball there, 1-2.
Which makes sense. You know, you've seen this team, you know, in the not too distant past. So you're giving them a little bit of a different look, putting something else in their mind.
And a cut and miss. So Hayes out on strikes. 4 consecutive strikeouts to start this outing for Shane McClanahan.
Got bored with the curveball. Said, you know what, I'm going to go with that power slider. And that's what that was at 89 miles per hour. And it just starts to show you how many different ways that he can put you away. Slow curve, slider, back foot, elevated heater, weapons.
They got all 3 with the curveball in the first. Now slider takes care of Hayes to begin the second. Fastball up and away to Pedro Severino. Severino, as you see, 235 on the year, 276 against lefties. One and one. I'll tell you, right now through the first 4, and this is the 5th hitter, McClanahan has it going on.
Sharp. He is very sharp with all of his pitches. Confidence level very high.
Liner up the left side. That's going to stay fair, just fair. Kicking back to Meadows. And now the throw to second. Severino got in there. Severino, a catcher without great speed, but I think he thought it was going to be a much easier double than it turned out to be.
This is the whole play was strange. That changeup was up just a little bit too much, and Severino, although he was out in front, able to drop it in fair, barely. And then right there, get your hands away from it. Meadows comes up throwing, and Severino finally gets there.
His 11th double of the year. Here's Anthony Santander. It's a strike. Breaking ball starts him. Foul ball, 0-2. A little bit of that one, holding the count at 2 strikes. Santander with 10 home runs, all have come against right-handed pitching. 276 against lefties, but no homers from the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Switch hitting outfielder up there. 1 on, 1 out. Just a little bit wide. 2-2. You can see Mejia trying to convince James Hoy that that might have been on the corner out there.
Tough to do it when you almost dive for it. And do the best you can.
The count's full. Here's the third baseman on deck. 3-2 on the ground at third. Wendell comes up with that ball and throws him out. Severino remaining in second.
So you want to play third base. That was a hard hit ball that took a high hop, and Wendell wore it to make the play. Now that ball gets right up into the midsection, kind of handcuffs him, but does a good job to get it over there and get the out. Dwayne, I think we're fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Answer's yes.
1-0 the count to Ramon Urias. Yeah. Quick reaction down there by Wendell. Two balls, no strikes, the count. Two and one. Here's the 2-1. And it's a strike. Upper part of the zone to even the count.
That slider acting more like a cutter. Just catching that outer part of the plate up high.
Now the 2-2 and a swing and a miss. Toss down to first to take care of Urias. We go to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Rays.
Welcome back to Tropicana Field. Well, the Rays have now scored 8 or more runs in 10 of their last 12 games. And Kevin Cash credits that to quality at-bats. He said, we're not just getting the big hits, but sometimes we're getting those big walks, too. From top to bottom, he said they're putting pressure on the opposing pitchers. But he added, listen, when they're doing this well offensively, I just try to stay out of the way. Guys?
Well, there's Kevin Cash chatting with Mike Zunino. The Rays up and down the lineup have gotten key hits, and in some cases walks have been as good as a hit.
And what does that tell you? That this offense right now locked in, the strike zone discipline is very good. I mean, you know, we've said it, I mean, really probably too many times to count, but a lot of strikeouts. But that's because they are willing to see a lot of pitches and hit deep in the count. Guess what that leads to? That leads to a lot of walks, too. So they're a very dangerous team as far as making an opposing pitcher work and be able to work those walks as part of their offense.
Running up high pitch counts and getting into bullpens. Wendell fouls it out of play. It's 1-2.
I'll tell you, and those are tough offenses to face. The ones that grind you down. Yes, they're ready to hit. And if you're going to lay one in there, they're going to make you pay for it. But they're also going to foul off tough pitchers, and they're going to force you into a number of 7, 8 pitch at bats that gets that pitch count up. It gets you out of the game sooner, and it just makes it difficult for you to power through.
2-2 to Wendell.
Just not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. And I think that that is a byproduct of what they've been taught. Hey, guys, you're going to strike out, but we don't. That's going to happen. But work at bats. Don't be afraid of 2 strikes.
That's a shot lifted into right center field. Santander on the run, and just before he gets to the warning track, takes care of that. That ball hung up out there, and Wendell is out number 1. The Rays scored 2 in the first inning when Lau opened with a double. Franco hit by a pitch. Cruz singled, and then the bases loaded walk to Meadows, got a run home. Double play ball, got another one home. Mejia will be the hitter. Martin, the lone man on the left side of the infield again. With Urias, the third baseman, up the middle. There's a fly ball into left. Hayes angling back to get there. The back-to-back fly balls. 2 up and 2 down. You could win big with the Rays 50-50 raffle. For every home game, you can join the raffle from the comfort of your home. Go to RaysBaseball.com/50-50. Some restrictions apply. Brett Phillips takes one in the dirt. Phillips with 10 home runs. .217 overall. 2-0. One. Phillips 261 against right-handed pitching. It's upstairs. Three and one. Off the plate in.
I find this fascinating, really. You've got a guy on the mound in Jorge Lopez that averages 95 miles per hour and was throwing it early in the first inning. And now he's sitting around 88, 89. We saw that last one at 91. And presumably he's healthy.
Well, he said he was.
Yeah.
The manager and the trainer went out there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's one thing. We've all known guys that had a BP fastball in their bag of tricks and in their arsenal, and occasionally you'd take a little bit off. But he's just decided, you know what, I'm done with 95. I'm going to pitch at 88, 89 out of nowhere. I've never seen that before.
A little lob over to first. I mean, after that long pause there out of the stretch, lobbing it over to first.
And held it, I mean, for a long time. I get it. Brett Phillips may go on you.
1-1. Lau swinging and missing as Phillips started and stopped off of first. Been the nature of this affair, a stop and go situation so far. High fly ball back into right. Santander will run out of room. Gone. Brandon Lau hits number 29. So Brandon Lau, with a double and a home run, is now 6 of 11 against Lopez.
Got a fastball in the first inning, and here he gets a rolling curveball rolling right into the barrel of his bat, and he launched this. That was headed up into the rings.
It's a 4-0 ball game. A 2-run home run by Brandon Lau. Now a 1-1 count to Wander Franco. Here's a base hit up the middle. Franco is aboard for the second time. He's coming off reaching base last night 4 times. Let's go back to the home run.
Watch this ball off the bat, how high it is hit. Just a majestic looking long fly ball.
Nelson Cruz. Pitch is outside. Baltimore getting the bullpen up. Big cut and a miss, 1-1. It has been a disjointed effort by Jorge Lopez. Fernando Abad loosening in the bullpen, the lefty. And he just lays that one in there. 1-2. Breaking ball. Two and two. I mean, these last two pitches have been in the mid-70s.
Everything is significantly down, and if he is healthy, the big question is why. I mean, the body language, we've seen Jorge Lopez throw a couple of times this season. You know, he's a high energy guy, good effort in the delivery, and that's why he's able to generate good velocity. And he seems that he's just going through the motions, just throwing pitches. That's a fastball. That's a fastball. He averages 95 on the heater. That's 88. I don't understand it if you're not hurt. And I doubt that they're trying to let him gut through something.
And a strike call. So Cruz caught looking. The Rays come up with two on one swing of the bat from Brandon Lau. It was a 40-degree launch angle on that home run. Rays lead 4-0. We're headed into the third inning. The Rays with a couple runs in the first and two more in the second off Jorge Lopez. Jorge Mateo leads off the third inning. This is a strike from McClanahan. Richie Martin will be next. In the top of the order, Mullins. Pitch did he go down into the dirt, and no swing by Mateo. Up in plenty of time. Fastball up, and he fouls it back.
You know, that's the pitch there that becomes very dangerous for a hitter when McClanahan can continually spot it up there. It's tough to do anything with, and it sets up the off speed down, and that's the game that he likes to play.
Out of play.
Get you thinking about protecting against 97 up, and then here comes 90 back foot. Here comes 81 short. That curveball puts a hitter in a tough spot, especially when that hitter is behind in the count.
And a soft liner the other way into right field for a base hit.
I'll tell you what, that was a really nice job by Mateo. That's not a bad pitch at all by McClanahan. Better job of two-strike hitting by Mateo. Gets that streak going again. This curveball, it's down. And look at him go down and get it. Swat it out into right field.
Well, Mateo had a hit and a run scored last night to extend his streak to 9. So that's a 10-game hitting streak for Mateo. Here's Richie Martin. Pitch is a strike. Mateo 8 of 9 in the running department. Rays have built an early 4-0 lead. Strike on the outside edge, 0-2. Runner takes off and a move over to first. They're going to get him. He is out at second base. That will be a caught stealing. Franco put the tag on him.
And Dwayne, listen, you're going to go on first movement and watch Ji-Man Choi cut the ground to McClanahan so that he can then give himself an angle to get rid of that ball quickly and in time to Franco. That is so well executed by the Rays. Mateo going on that leg kick as soon as it's moved by McClanahan.
Fly ball the other way to right. Arozarena lines up to make the catch, so they eliminate the base runner. And on the next pitch, Martin skies to right field, so quickly nobody on, 2 gone.
It's almost like a double play.
Yep.
And with those hitters, you know, because a base stealer is going to go off of a left-hander's first movement, that first baseman has to then come off the bag to cut down the distance on the throw. And it also gives him an angle, especially if he's a right-handed thrower, to be able to get the ball to second base. And G-Man did a great job of that. And that's why that play looks so easy.
The first pitch strike into Cedric Mullins.
And just another demoralizing, you know, part of this series and this game to the Orioles. A good at bat by Mateo, and you've got nothing to show for it now.
1-1. Off the mitt, Mejia. 2-1.
It's a foul tip.
He thought it was there, and suddenly it was gone.
He's staying alive.
Two and two. Liner going to be a base hit into center. Phillips over quickly to cut it off, and Mullins has his first hit of the game. So Mullins 1 out of 2. He's actually hit a little better off lefties than right-handers this year.
But not by much, and that's the thing I think that is most surprising is how consistent he's been. But you're right, because, and we pointed this out before, he was a switch hitter. And so you make the decision to go all left-handed. You think, well, there's going to be obviously be a struggle, at least early on, against left-handed pitching. But as you point out, actually he's been a little better.
Yep. The strike to Mancini.
And you looked up some of his splits when this series started, and he was hitting .318 against lefties, .318 against righties. I mean, you're like, what?
Base runner at first with 2 outs. And it's 0-2 to Mancini. You look at the top 4 hitters in this lineup. They've all hit pretty well against lefties. Facing a good young left-handed pitcher out there now. Count still 0-2. Mullins, as we mentioned, hitting .316. Mancini .289 with 10 homers against lefties. Mountcastle .287. Hayes following him .298. And did he go? Yes, he did. Mancini out on strikes. That's number 6 for McClanahan. Bottom of inning 3 coming. 4-0 Rays. Rays hold a 4-0 lead moving into the bottom of the 3rd. They've absolutely dominated the Orioles in the season series, going 14-1, averaging over 8 runs a game. And with men in scoring position hitting .345, the Toyota keys to the season series for the Rays.
Really hard to put into words what those numbers actually mean. At the major league level, a team that you see an awful lot of, and they've seen an awful lot of you, and you just continue to hammer them. The runs per game, the whole, I mean, all of that stuff. Runners in scoring position. These Rays hitters have had a really good plan against this Oriole pitching staff, and you know, truth be told, this Oriole pitching staff is the worst statistically in Major League Baseball, but yet I don't think any team has bludgeoned them quite like the Rays.
Yeah, Baltimore last in the American League, last in the Major League in team ERA, and that's really the starting point of chronicling how difficult a year it has been for Baltimore. Well, Austin Meadows will step in against Fernando Abad, who takes over on the hill. 2 innings for Lopez. First pitch, ground ball. Mateo up with it. And Meadows is out at first. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, obviously a difficult outing for Lopez. Gave up 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second.
Yeah, and perplexing the lack of velocity on all of his pitches from the early in the first inning through that second inning. You certainly hope that everything is okay with him. But it's been that kind of year, not only for Jorge Lopez, but for his team in general.
Ji-Man Choi taking a pitch low. The Rays saw Abad for 2 innings on Monday. It's popped up left side. Martin out there. Now he's going to be run off the play with Urias over. The third baseman actually coming over from second to make that play behind the shortstop. And now that he made the play, he'll go back to his normal position at third. He's a man on the move. Yeah, right. And I guess halfway there, a little pit stop to make a catch, and then we move over. Pop fly priority. Here's Randy Arozarena. First pitch, strike. Catch up there. 0-2. Abad gave up a run in the 2 innings he worked the other night. Home run struck by Mike Brasso. And a 1-2. Wide and off the mitt of Severino.
That just happened. 59. I mean, you could tell it just at the point of release that Abad had really slowed the body down, kind of throwing like a little hybrid ephus pitch.
Tough to hit and tough to catch.
A little two-seam fading ephus. Well, not really an ephus. Ephus usually has a little bit more air underneath it. But in looking at Abad's arsenal, I had nothing marked at 59.
Changing speeds off the breaking ball. There's a line drive. Base hit. Backhanded stop by Hayes. Arozarena makes a big turn. He's going to stop at first base.
You know, and that's one guy for the Orioles that continues to play extremely hard, no matter where they put him. I mean, he could have let that ball get out to the wall, and it's a double for Randy Arozarena. It is what it is. But he hustles over there. Watch him get over there as quickly as he can with big-time effort to cut it off and then get it back in as quickly as he did. And that kept Arozarena from getting to second base.
Randy extends his hitting streak to 11. He had a 12-gamer earlier this year, back in June. Ground ball toward the middle. That's Mateo with a little flip there for the force. And we're through 3 with the Rays leading 4-0. Rays baseball on Valley Sports is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. By Advent Health. Trust the ER experts at Advent Health. Learn more at theerexperts.com. And by the Florida Lottery, who reminds you to always play responsibly. On to the 4th inning. Shane McClanahan through 3 has given up no runs, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts for the 24-year-old lefty. 8, by the way, is his single game high so far. Here's the first pitch strike to Mountcastle. High fly ball, center field, angling back. It's Phillips. And just as he hits the track, he makes the catch.
That could have been trouble. That was very close to being trouble. And Mountcastle, he was hanging his head going around first base, realizing how close he was.
The Mountcastle homered in his last at bat in the game last night to extend his hitting streak to 10 and was trying to make a bid for 1 there.
Meanwhile, McClanahan's like, yep, 2 pitches, 1 out.
And here is Austin Hayes. Upstairs. Well, McClanahan started the game by striking out the side on 3 breaking balls in the first. And then he got Hayes on the slider to open the 2nd inning. That one started wide and found the plate.
Yeah, he's been mixing that curveball and that slider really well. Where these hitters, they may be thinking breaking ball. Which one is it going to be? Oh, and how about that?
Yep. Well, had him out in front.
I'll pull the string on you. You know, when you start to think about the weaponry that McClanahan possesses, the confidence at which he's using all 4 of his pitches.
The 1-2. And an in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball gets him, and the throw down to first from Mejia to Joy completes the putout. 7 strikeouts now.
Well, the curveball early on, that first inning, 3 strikeouts, 3 curveballs. There was the slider to get Austin Hayes to start the 2nd inning. Another curveball right there, the check swing. Now, this is the thing. You saw Mancini on the check swing. When you get that kind of a full swing on a curveball that ends up well short, that is a hitter that just cannot and did not recognize the pitch. You know, you saw Mancini, he started his swing, realized, uh-oh, curveball below the zone, tried to check up and couldn't. Austin Hayes took a full swing at the curveball that bounced. That means he's just not recognizing it.
1-0 to Severino is upstairs.
But, you know, he got him to swing and miss at a changeup. You know, he started him with a fastball that was elevated. He saw a little bit of everything.
Severino up now 3-0. Shanahan's had a couple 3-2 counts, 3-0 here to Severino. And he walks him on 4 pitches. So the 2-out walk. Anthony Santander stepping in. Strike call. Fastball to start him. And a cut and a miss. A little more on that one. It went up in the 95, 96 range. 0-2. Swing and a miss. He just went up the ladder with his velocity and location. Strikes out Santander. We'll check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. This ball game headed into the bottom of the 4th. Rays jumped out in front, 2 in the first, 2 in the second inning. By the way, Shane McClanahan, a couple strikeouts in the 4th. He has 8, which ties his career high. And in the bottom of the inning, it will be his battery mate, Francisco Mejia, to lead off. Brett Phillips will follow, and then Brandon Lau. Rays facing Fernando Abad. First pitch is a strike. Mejia catching last night, on base a couple times, scored a run. Up a double. There's a ground ball. Going to go through to the left of Martin into center field. Mullins over to make the pickup. Leadoff man aboard in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Rays.
Well, the Rays never satisfied. Trying to keep the pressure on. Gets an off-speed pitch from Abad that he slowed his body up on. And that allowed Mejia pretty good recognition of that pitch. Gets it into the outfield and gets the Rays off and running here in the 4th.
Brett Phillips. He walked with 2 outs. His first plate appearance. Fastball a little close to him, 1-0. Phillips in the starting lineup with Lopez, the right-hander, starting. Now he faces the lefty. It's been a bit of a challenge against left-handers and very good against right-handed pitching. 9 of his 10 home runs off right-handers. It's 2-1. A look at the lefty-righty split. going to go to 3 balls and a strike. And this one is skied foul down beyond the bullpen, and that's out of the reach. Boy, Hayes hustling over there just in case he had a play. The count is full. Brandon Lau on deck. Swing and a foul ball. Ball headed to the backstop, but it was foul. We'll see another 3-2 pitch.
Well, he missed that pitch. That was not.
I'll tell you.
Yeah,
He didn't make contact
and missed it by plenty.
Yep. Now he draws the walk, and that pops away from Severino. A single and a walk. 2 walks drawn by Phillips. 2 men on, nobody out for the top of the order. That would be Brandon Lau.
Second baseman, Brandon Lau.
Brandon with a double and a home run.
Well, that rolling curveball and Brandon Lau. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. 104.4 off the bat. How about the launch angle? 40 degrees. Majestic.
Here he is shooting one into center field. Mullins will make the catch. A tag at second. But he is going to head to third, and the Rays will have men on the corners. First and third with 1 out.
Good move up there by Mejia. Not content to stay put. Get up over there to third base with less than 2 outs. Force the Orioles to now have to play very aggressive. You know that they're going to have to pull that infield in. They may not in the middle. Looking for a double play ball perhaps.
Well, Home Depot getting more done, and that certainly applies to Wander Franco lately. He's been on base now in 21 consecutive games. He and Rosarena competing there. Wander hit by a pitch and is singled in this game. Takes first pitch wide.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Rays offense has been extremely hot, but that's a big reason why. Guys are just finding ways to contribute, to get on, to make themselves available to score. And they've been doing plenty of that.
Two balls, no strikes. And now ball 3. So 2 on, 1 out. 3-0 the count to Franco. Nelson Cruz on deck. Three and 1. Marcos Duplan is on duty down there up the left field line. Been up for a while and be sufficiently ready. There is ball 4. That's going to load the bases. A single, 2 walks, 1 out. And we're going to get the pitching change. So Abad works an inning and a third. Call to the bullpen. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Experience lifelong excitement with Week for Life scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. You can win top prizes of up to $5,000 a week for life. So keep living and keep winning. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. The bottom of the 4th inning. Baltimore on pitcher number 3 already. Lon worked an inning Tuesday. Gave up 1 unearned run. And he has yet to give up an earned run.
Yeah, and by the look of that opponent's average, I think maybe he's given up 1 hit. 0-42, 7 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts. That's one way to make a splash.
And for that, with 1 out and the bases loaded, he gets to face Nelson Cruz, who has singled and struck out, 1 out of 2. This pitch is a fastball upstairs. Ball by Cruz there. It's 1-1. Made his major league debut 13 days ago against the Rays. It's 2-1. Lopez, Abad, now Deplan. Fouled into the screening down the right side. Got 4 off Lopez. Bod leaves, responsible for the 3 men on. Swing and a miss. Cruz out on strikes for the 2nd time in this game.
But Deplan,
3 on the day.
Yeah, coming right after him too, Dwayne, with that 4-seam fastball, middle of the plate, right at the belt. I mean, those are pitches you do not see Nelson Cruz miss very often.
Now the left-handed bat of Austin Meadows. He was walked and grounded out. Down and in, stopped by Severino. Mejia's at 3rd, Phillips at 2nd base. Franco aboard at 1st. 2 gone. That pitch a little bit off the plate wide. He missed, but not by much. side now. So it's 3-0.
Paint yourself into a corner here. Austin Meadows, you've got to tell yourself, you know that he's going to have the 3-0 green light. One pitch in one spot, and if it's not there, let it go. Even if it's a strike, 3-1, you do the same thing. So Austin Meadows in the driver's seat.
And there is ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to force home Mejia. Run charge to Abad, and the Rays have a 5-0 lead right now. Second time Meadows has walked with the bases loaded. He walked back in the first, and now a walk here in the fourth. G-Man Choi. Well, Choi was the first man DePlante faced when he made his major league debut. He struck him out. Now faces him with the bases loaded and throws him a fastball, strike 1. He has scored. Phillips third, Franco at second, and Meadows at first. That's why all 3 of the Rays base runners now have reached via the walk. Takes another pitch out of the zone. It's 2-1. Choi could not stop in time. And that pitch appeared to be in the zone at the very top. 2-2. Two delivery upstairs and wide, more wide than anything. Arena is on deck, bases loaded, 2 outs, a run home in the inning to make it a 5-run game. And foul ball will force another 3-2 pitch. The Rays 14-1 against Baltimore, averaging over 8 runs a game in the season series. They have 5 runs as we play in the 4th inning of this one. And again, 3-2. Up the left side, that's going to tail foul. Well, he's distributing a souvenir or 2.
Giving everybody else a workout as they take off in these full counts.
Mejia singled. He has scored. 3 walks in the inning. And the third 3-2 pitch about to be made. DePlante to G-Man Choi. Ground ball through the middle, base hit into center. Phillips scores. Franco's going to score. Over to third goes Meadows. Choi drives in 2, and the Rays up the ante. It's a 7-0 ball game.
Well, that's a real smart piece of hitting there by G-Man Choi, knowing that that's a pitch that's probably a strike, but you're not going to be able to drive it. He just kind of smothers it out there, goes out and gets it, and just slaps that ball the other way. He's got a wide open piece of ground to work with, and he puts it right there, drives in 2. And the Rays just continue to keep the pressure on this Oriole pitching staff.
Well, Labad gave up a single, walked a couple, and all 3 of those runners have scored. Choi at first, he belongs to Duplan, and the pitch to Rosarena is a strike.
And you just wonder how these Oriole players continue to keep their head up and continue to play hard. I mean, it's 7-0 already, and it could be a lot worse. I mean, you think about the losing streak they're on. Think about that series that they had in Boston before coming here. It's seemingly Boston was up 5-6-0 in the first couple of innings of every game of that series. Then they come in here, and the Rays continue their hot hitting against them. Look at the run differential in the 14-game losing streak. I mean, that is incredible.
And a swing and a foul tip strikeout. Rosarena out on strikes, but the Rays extend their lead 7-0. Ball on Valley Sports is brought to you by the Aggressive Attorneys, Winters and Yawker, and by your local Honda dealer. Shane McClanahan has worked 4 innings. Here's the breakout on the 24-year-old left-hander so far. 65 pitches.
A really good mix. That fastball and the curveball taking front and center over the slider as far as the breaking balls go.
There's the first pitch strike to Urias. Ramon Urias, who struck out on a curveball in the 2nd inning. 8 strikeouts from McClanahan, equaling his season's high. 3rd time he's done that.
Well, McClanahan has very good stuff, and at times overpowering. On top of that, he's put himself into good counts, and he's become, especially here today, from what we saw from that mix, unpredictable.
And he's in front of Urias 1-2.
Some of these swings, they're just waving at the ball, not really sure. They've got to account for all 4 pitches. We've seen him pull the string, especially these right-handed hitters.
Now 2-2.
Even in this count right here, who's to say he doesn't throw a changeup? Maybe he drops in the curveball.
Yep.
Slider, back foot. It's all on the table.
And the fly ball hit back into left with Meadows looking up to play it off the wall. It's going to be a 2-base hit into second with the double standing Urias, and that's his 8th of the year.
Well, got the breaking ball right there, that slider, but it just kind of stayed flat. Urias put a charge into it. 2/3 of the way up that wall.
Jorge Mateo extended his hitting streak to 10 with a base hit in the 3rd. And he was caught off first. There's a strike. Ground ball right side into the glove of Lau. Runner goes to 3rd with Mateo out, Lau to Choi. So 1 away, decide baseball's biggest blooper, and you can win your own error-free fan experience. Fill out your MLB Oops bracket, presented by Mattress Firm at MLB.com/bracket for your chance to win. Restrictions apply. See official rules. Richie Martin tried to check and did in time, says Adrian Johnson down at first. Martin back in action early this month. Suffered a fractured left wrist and could not catch up right there. 2-1.
Almost came a little unglued.
And that's foul back.
You may not be able to want to watch it in real time because you want to follow the pitch, but if you watch McClanahan push off the rubber, he literally pushes off the rubber. There is a little jump there where it comes off, and he is putting all of that effort in driving towards home plate with that back foot. So there's sometimes that it is going to get a little bit loose.
This one lined into right, going to fall for a base hit in front of Arozarena, scoring Urias. Baltimore on the board. That's going to make it a 7-1 ball game.
Fastball right in the middle of the plate. Richie Martin with a short, quick swing. Drops it right out into right field, and the Orioles score their first run.
Now the first pitch, Mullins sends one deep into center. Phillips is going to be there to make the catch. Martin had turned second, trying to get back to first, and just does. Martin was around second base when that ball was caught and realized he had to get back. And the throw back to first was close over there. And he got back in head first.
And I don't know if Brett Phillips realized that there was a potential play here. You know, he's just going down to make the catch. But there, Martin, now he's got to retouch second base. And it's a sprint, a race to first between the ball and Martin. Well, he does spin and get it in quickly, and watch Franco. He got rid of it quickly too. The Rays gave themselves a chance.
First pitch, Mancini hits it right to Phillips, and that will retire the side. A run scores, the man left. 7-1 Rays.
Well, we've got a big story here this afternoon. Let's go to Chicago. And Sean Murphy, former Wright State Raider, deep into left field. Solo shot would tie this game at 1-1. Chicago White Sox will be heading into town to take on the Rays over the weekend. And let's take a look at a scouting report brought to you by Papa John's. Tony La Russa is going to be here. Look at that. They lead the Central by 12 games. Jose Abreu, tons of runs batted in. I'll tell you, they give him a lot of opportunities, that's for sure. And how about Liam Hendricks leading the American League in saves? So there's going to be a ton of talent coming in. That's going to be a great matchup to be a part of.
Well, the Rays carry a 7-1 lead into the bottom of inning 5. Joey Wendell with a 1 strikeout. Joey 0 for 2. 4 runs off Lopez, 3 off Abad. The bouncer foul. Duplan took over for Abad with 1 out in the 4th inning, and the bases loaded. All 3 of those runs scored. foul back. Still 2 strikes. 7 runs, 7 hits for the Rays, a run, 5 hits for Baltimore. Down and in, and a cut and miss. So Wendell is the 3rd strikeout recorded by DePlaw.
Boy, some curveball with some late action.
Brings up Francisco Mejia. Fastball is away. To left, caught by Hayes. 2 up and 2 down. As we mentioned, the White Sox in tomorrow night. Lucas Giolito against Michael Wacha. It's a 7:10 start, and then Saturday and Sunday day games. Those games will begin at 1:10. Phillips, strike 1. Phillips with 2 runs scored. He has walked twice, and the Rays have converted both those walks into runs. A ball and a strike. Two. Breaking ball. That is upstairs in a checked swing. 2. Rays 5 up on New York, 6 up on Boston. Full count. And the Yankees host the Twins in the Bronx tonight. High fly ball, center field. Mullins will be there waiting. And the Rays are up and down 1-2-3 for the first time today. They lead 7-1. And field, our game heads into inning number 6 with the Rays holding a 7-1 lead. We're looking at Dietrich Inn, who's going to take over for Shane McClanahan. Boy, McClanahan good again today. 5 innings and ends. Will make his 3rd appearance. Rays open the scoring with a couple runs in the 1st inning. McClanahan worked 5, made 79 pitches, struck out 8 for the 3rd time this year, walked only 1, gave up the 1 run. And there's Brandon Lau in the 2nd inning, belting his 29th home run, connecting off Jorge Lopez. G-Man Choi got into the act with a 2-run single in the 4th when the Rays added 3 more to run it to a 7-0 ball game, and it's now 7-1 as we go to the top of the 6th. Inns gives up a base hit on the first pitch. Mountcastle extends his hitting streak to 11.
Well, he came in and that 10-gamer was tied for the longest active streak in Major League Baseball. Maybe he takes the lead with that one right there, but he has been certainly a bright spot for the Orioles the last couple of months. He started to turn it on a little bit.
One strike count on Austin Hayes. Who's just recalled from Durham. His second stint with the Rays. He was in 15 games at Durham with 10 of those starts, 7-2 with a 229. Lifted foul up the right side. Out of play it goes.
You know, it seems to me too that with getting McClanahan out of the game, kind of a calculated move by the Rays, because the pitch count was in good working order. You know, 5 innings, he certainly could have gone deeper and given you more, but with the 7-1 lead, this is how you limit a young guy's innings, especially you plan on playing and pitching him well into October. And so the Rays with that strong bullpen.
Well, and as we mentioned at the outset, 5 innings historically doesn't seem to be a lot, but in today's game, that's a stabilizing amount of innings for a starting pitcher, particularly with the way the Rays handle their pitching staff. Hayes is out on strikes for the 3rd time. So McClanahan gives the Rays 5 innings today.
Now that fastball in just continues to track in, and Austin Hayes cannot find it with that swing.
So that's 10 of 11 games now for McClanahan to go at least 5. He's gone more than that, but at least 5 in 10 of those 11. 1 strike the count on Severino.
Well, the thing that's been most impressive about McClanahan is he's gotten more and more efficient. When you think about how the season has moved along, you know, that last start against the Orioles, he went 7 innings on 92 pitches. That's 13 an inning. He's a little over 16 on the season.
Yep.
You know, he was a little over 15 an inning today. But when you're able to do that as a power pitcher and rack up strikeouts and still keep that pitch count in order, that just shows you that he just doesn't mess around a whole lot. He's looking to get deep into a game, or deeper into a game, and to do that, you've got to attack.
Just in off the plate, 1-2.
I mean, we see a lot of guys that have good stuff. They can strike out a bunch, but they're 20 pitch an inning guys. Yep. So they go 5 innings out of, well, I can't let him go any further. He's already at 100 pitches. With McClanahan, you have that luxury of getting him out of there to limit innings.
Yeah, I think he had what, 79 today.
I mean, that's 5 innings, 79 pitches.
Yep. We'll take that.
Absolutely.
Just a bit up. 2-2 now. 1 on, 1 out here in the 6th.
This backdoor cutter, and it was close.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Marino fouls this one, holding the count at 2-2. And we did see that curveball, which normally had been about 15%, 30% today.
Had a good feel for it. We saw that the first inning. 3 strikeouts on 3 curveballs.
Popped up right side. Choi back there for it. He'll make the catch. So 2 outs with Mountcastle still at first. Anthony Santander on his way to the plate. And a chopper foul. Santander is grounded to third, struck out swinging. Clanahan got him on a fastball up at 97. There's Sulcer up in the bullpen. It's out of play down the right side, 0-2. Lifted out of play again. Down the third base side, foul. Inns pitched an inning against the Orioles in Baltimore on the 7th of the month. Another foul ball by Santander. Inns one scoreless inning in what turned out to be a 12-3 victory for the Rays. Gave up a hit, struck out a man, and threw a double play ball in that one. And then worked 3 2/3 in Boston. Was judged for 4 runs in that game. Hot shot foul. So the 0-2 count holds with 4 consecutive foul balls. 2 outs following the base hit by Mountcastle. Popped up foul. That's going to be out of play. This is a 7-pitch at bat. All 7 pitches have been fouled away.
Yeah. Santander getting his money's worth, that's for sure.
Inns doesn't mind the work, but he'd like to end this at bat.
For everybody.
Yeah. We're rooting for him. The 0-2 upstairs. 1-2. Well, he sort of had Santander in swing mode. 0-2, but that one too high.
Yeah, the face high gives him a little bit of a break, catches breath.
And a cut and a miss. He goes up and gets him to chase there and strikes out Santander.
Welcome back to Tropicana Field. Well, yesterday, Wander Franco wowed us at the plate with a 3-for-4 night, a double, and 2 RBI. Kevin Cash described his at-bats recently as very professional, and Wander echoed that sentiment. He said, I've been getting feedback that I'm looking much more comfortable right now at the plate, and he said, they're right. I am more comfortable because I'm starting to see the success of the work that I put in at the major league level, and I feel good. So comfortability, guys, that's been key for Wander Franco reaching base in 21 consecutive games. That's the 2nd longest active streak in the majors.
So as we go to the bottom of the 6th, Franco will hit second in this inning.
And I'll tell you, Dwayne, I think that you can see that with his approach in the batter's box. I mean, he's a guy that looks a whole lot more comfortable than he did when he first got to the big leagues. And Cole Sulser, as you take a look at his numbers for the season, pretty good all around. 55 punch-outs in 44 innings.
Brandon Lau's going after his first pitch. Lifting it foul out of play. A good day at the plate for Lau. He hit the first pitch he saw for a double, scored a run, then he homered in the 2nd inning. '29 home runs on the year. One and one. Swing and a miss on the fastball up. 1-2. Lopez for 2, 4 runs off him, and then get a third for Abad. 3 runs charged to him, an inning and 2/3 for Duplan. Inherited 3 runners. They all scored. No runs charged to his account. And now Sulser, and he is 2-2 with Brandon Lau. Ball.
Right off the front of that chin, got that padding there.
Count's going to go full. And he draws the walk. Number 6 allowed by Baltimore pitching. Get in on the action. Exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Host your group of 34 in the private party area, just steps from the Rays bullpen. Reserve the Papa John's bullpen box by emailing group sales at raysbaseball.com. Wander Franco. Been hit by a pitch, singled and walked. Strike the count. Doubled, singled, and walked in his last 3 plate appearances in last night's game. Count 0-2 now. Been on base in 7 of his last 8 plate appearances. Upstairs, 1-2. Will even the count. Wow, on for the 3rd time. Lifted into short left. Hayes coming straight in a hurry to make the catch. He's going to fire the ball to first, but allows back in. So 1 on with 1 out. Time now for a word from the Home Depot.
Join Pro Extra to save time, save money, and get rewarded. Heavy hitters score with the Home Depot's Built for Pros loyalty program.
Nelson Cruz singled his first time. He is 1 for 3 overall. He looks at strike one. One count. He's got 4 off the starter Jorge Lopez, 3 off Abad. Slider he misses. Ball 2 strikes. In the number 3 spot. He's second in the major leagues in runs per game at 5.25 coming in, second to Houston. Houston at 5.3. The Rays lead the majors in runs scored since Cruz arrived at 6.71. He swings and misses and is out number 2 in the 6th. So Sulzer strikes him out.
Well, it was the fastball the previous at bat. This is the changeup down below the zone, and Cruz kind of reaching and waving at that pitch. I mean, it's got to be frustrating because just when you think that it's going to start to heat up, hit some balls hard and get things rolling, all of a sudden you come back with a couple of strikeouts. Not quite where he wants to be yet.
Well, here's Austin Meadows. He goes after the first pitch, lofts a fly ball into short left. Hayes makes the catch, and the Rays leave a man, do not score in the 6th, leading 7-1. Now is your chance to combine digital keepsakes and memorable experiences from the Rays. Bid now on the 1-of-1 Tropicana Field NFT, part of MLB Stadium Series. Visit candy.com for complete details. Back to the mound goes Dietrich Inns. McClanahan worked 5 innings. Picked up a couple strikeouts, gave up the hit, no runs in the 6th. Ramon Urias takes a strike to begin the 7th. Mateo next. Jorge Mateo and then Richie Martin. One ball, one strike. Two. Foul right back into the screen. Reyes has scored the run for Baltimore today when he doubled off the wall in left. Was driven home by Martin. Goes the count of the ball, 2 strikes. Lynn's recalled when the Rays placed Jordan Luplow on the IL with an ankle strain. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rays have 17 players on the IL, 16 pitchers. 13 of those relievers.
It speaks to how many guys have contributed coming out of that bullpen, and how many more are on the way. You know, I read this morning, that Pete Fairbanks was going to throw, and maybe he would be assigned to Durham pretty soon. Chris Archer could be on his way this weekend.
Yep.
You start to think of Thompson and Fireisen, and these guys looking to come back from injury. The Rays have an opportunity if they can get them healthy and back. Boy, oh boy, you're talking about some top-end relievers fresh and ready to go for the stretch run.
Now the line drive after the strikeout of Urias. Mateo has himself a double, lining it toward the left field corner, picking up his 2nd hit of the game. He singled in the 3rd, now a double in the 7th inning. It already extended his hitting streak to 10.
Well, that slider down and in, and he just drops the barrel right on it. I'll tell you, Mateo has been an intriguing player. We've obviously seen the length of this hitting streak on both ends, and so swinging the bat well, and we've seen Brandon Hyde and the Orioles try him just about everywhere defensively. We've seen him at second, seen him at short, seen him in the outfield.
Well, he's athletic. He's got a good bat. He can really run.
Obviously, they are intrigued as they continue to look for players. And I guess they should be. Start doing things like put together those hit streaks and show some versatility.
Well, his sprint speed is supposed to be the 3rd fastest in the MLB right now.
And that too.
Yeah. 0-2. And he has a 10-game hitting streak. 2 hits today. Ball, 2 strikes. Here the Rays lead 7-1. Kansas City with a 3-1 lead at the bottom of the 4th, hosting Houston. Into short left. Here comes Meadows to make the grab, and a throw back to second. And Mateo using some of that speed to get back in there. So Meadows coming in already, charging that to make the catch. And Mateo got back in ahead of the throw back into second base.
Yeah, he gave himself a chance. And you had everything working there, and Meadows is opportunity lost. A little bit of too much fade on that throw. Do a 2-seamer.
The top of the order, Cedric Mullins. Ball, no strikes. Lefty on lefty, but that doesn't mean a lot to Cedric Mullins. One. I mentioned earlier he was hitting .316 off lefties and has 7 home runs against lefties. Connor Wade up in the bullpen. That'll be a strike. They're on the edge, 1-2. Athletics lead the White Sox in Chicago at the end of 4, 2-1. And we will see the White Sox tomorrow night. Pitch popped up left side. That's Franco from shortstop making the catch. 7th inning stretch time at the ballpark. 7-1 Rays. Rays baseball on Valley Sports is presented by Baycare. Rays hold a 7-1 lead. They'll be looking at a new Baltimore pitcher, the 5th of the game. Connor Wade will take over from Sulzer. Sulzer worked 1 inning, struck out 1, walked 1. G-Man Choi, who drove in 2 runs with a base hit in the 4th inning, 1 for 3, will face Wade. Pitch is a strike. Wade pitched in the game night before last on Tuesday. 1-1. Pitched an inning in 2/3. Gave up a walk. Two and one. Foul ball off his foot. 2-2. The Orioles dropping 14 straight coming into this one. Second stretch of 14 consecutive losses this year. The other one in May. First time in American League history the team has had 2 separate losing streaks of at least 13 games in a single season. A little issue it seems here. Let's see. The Orioles trainer started to come out of the dugout, and it would appear that Mateo had something in his eye, but he waves him off.
Well, thankfully he found it himself. He was like, don't even think about it.
Choi is out on strikes. Well, the Seminole Hard Rock Tampa 162 landing. A perfect on-field party area for meetings or outings. Space fits up to 86, includes great catering options and a location alongside the visiting bullpen. For more information, email groupsales@raysbaseball.com. Randy Arozarena extended his hitting streak to 11. He came on a base hit in the 3rd. It's quickly down on the count, 0-2. One and two. Count evens with regard to the 2 losing streaks by this Baltimore club. 3rd time in Major League history dating back to 1901, in which a team has had 2 separate losing streaks of at least 14.
What was that?
You got me.
How did he reach it? That's all I want to know.
Look at this thing.
How? I mean, that ball almost a foot off the plate.
This one stays in. Count is full.
Now that's one where you're not even mad that he swung at it. You're just more impressed that he actually got to it.
And a swing and a miss. So he's out in front. Back-to-back strikeouts by Wade.
How about that changeup grip? And he is able to throw that. Actually, the spot is not great, but the arm speed and the changeup speed was good enough to get a Rosarena. That's why I'll tell you, you sell that changeup. You want to get it into a good spot, but if you sell it, sometimes you get away with it.
Joey Wendell looking for his first hit today. There's a strike. Close, 1-1. The Rays have averaged in the neighborhood of a run per inning against this Baltimore bullpen in the season series. Coming into today, the bullpen had a .916 earned run average against Rays hitting. Now it's 3-1. Liner up the right field side, just foul. Adrian Johnson straddling that line and looking right down the right field line, and that ball just foul.
Well, here's the shot.
Woo, how about that? Well, that's about as close as you can be, and not having touched part of that chalk line. So Wendell back in there, and the count is full. On the ground down to first. This ball fair over the bag, and Montcastle makes the play unassisted. On to the eighth, 7-1. Ball on Valley Sports is brought to you by the Aggressive Attorneys, Winters and Yonker, and by your local Honda dealer. Rays wrapping up their series against the Baltimore Orioles. 7-1 ball game. Dietrich Inns has worked the 6th and the 7th. Gave up a base hit in the 6th, doubled in the 7th. He's picked up 3 strikeouts along the way, and he faces Trey Mancini as we begin the 8th. Strike 1. Mancini back in the lineup today, 0 for 3. Foul ball will put him behind in the count. It's a ball, 2 strikes. misses upstairs, 2-2. Well, out of the All-Star break, the Orioles won 10 games of their first 16 after the break, but that is ancient history with what they've gone through since then.
You know, and there's a lot of ball left to be played.
Yep.
I mean, you still got another month and a half of the season. And there are times, even this series here, where it didn't look like everybody was engaged as you would like them to be.
Swing. And that is strike 3. 4th strikeout for Inns. Purchase a Rays season membership by Friday to ensure 2021 postseason priority. Rays season membership ticket package gives fans the flexibility to choose the games and seats you desire in the way that best fits your schedule. Visit RaysBaseball.com/season membership. Castle rolls one foul. Extended his hitting streak to 11 with a 6th inning single. Fly ball back into deep left. Meadows on the track is there and makes the catch. 2 outs in the 8th. Base is empty. And Austin Hayes. It's been a tough day for Hayes. He is 0 for 3. 3 strikeouts. He came in hitting close to 300 against left-handed pitching. Nothing to show for it today. Foul ball and a strike. Close. 1-1. 30-year-old left-hander Inns. Originally drafted by the Yankees out of Central Michigan. He's back in 2012. Broken bat. Fly ball short left, and right there for it is Meadows. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of inning 8 coming. 7-1 Rays.
Well, back to Chicago we go for the big story, and here is the former Cal Bear Andrew Vaughn getting a hanging breaking ball. He drops it out into the left center field seats, down 2-1, and all of a sudden up 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, here's what we got coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show. Well, those Chicago White Sox, because that is the big story, they will be arriving in town to take on the Rays 3-game series. And Doug will break down Mike Zunino. Hopefully he's back in the lineup.
In the meantime, second pitch in the bottom of the 8th. And Mejia bounces it down to first with the pitcher covering. So Mejia is out number 1. And Brett Phillips looking for his first hit of the game, but he has scored twice. He walked and scored in the 2nd, walked and scored again in the 4th inning. Working deep counts all day, and the first pitch is a strike.
And that Brett Phillips is always up to something.
Yes, he is. They're planing around the field, hitting grand slams inside the park home runs.
I mean, he's become a cult-like figure.
Yeah.
Here, you know, local, but flair for the dramatic.
Yep.
And it started with the airplane. That was last postseason.
And he always finds something to smile about.
Yeah. And you know that it's, I mean, it's genuine, it's infectious.
Ball 2 strike count. Conley up in the bullpen. Adam Conley getting ready for the Rays. And strike 3 is called on Phillips. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th. We'll go back around to the top of the lineup now. Brandon Lau, subject of our Chevy play of the game. That came in the 2nd inning. His 29th home run of the year.
Now the hanging breaking ball by Lopez, and that was part of that quick start by the Rays to jump out to a 4-0 lead. So far, so good. They've made it hold up.
Oh, bounce it back. Strike 1. Hunter Wade had a 1-2-3 7th. He retired the first 2 in the 8th. Quickly out in front of Lau. Had him out in front on the changeup there. Pretty good one.
Yeah, a really good one. And you go back to that strikeout that he got. Let's see, who was that against? Was that, Rosarena?
Yep, on the change.
On the changeup. Yeah, and that was in the middle of the plate. Good cutter to go along with it. There it is. You know, he's not lighting up the radar gun, but there's an awful lot to like from the little bit that we've seen from Wade. He comes right after hitters. He's got some deception in his stuff.
Strike is called. He catches Lau looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning. On to the 9th, 7-1. Lottery jackpot stat. Well, look at the Rays at home since the middle of May. Since the 13th, they've gone 31-10 on this run at home, with the run differential of a plus 109.
Oh, that was what you were talking about earlier, that record. I mean, you're winning beyond 3 out of 4, scoring a ton of runs, and I mean, pitching extremely well. That's always what you thought about, you know, Tropicana Field. Teams come here, make it extremely difficult on them, defend that home turf, and then go, and you know, on top of all that, the Rays pretty good on the road too.
Indeed. They have been something. They're 36-25 on the road, 38-22 at home. And Adam Conley is in here. First pitch. Severino lifts a high popper. That's going to be foul. So Conley follows McClanahan and Inns. 5 for McClanahan, 3 for Inns. 3 scoreless with 4 strikeouts. Severino, who double walked and popped the first, with a 1 strike count against Adam Conley. The Rays came into this game 27 games over 500. 5 games up on the Yankees, 6 games up on the Red Sox. Ground ball fouled outside of third. And tomorrow night they'll be entertaining the Chicago White Sox, who have a 12-game lead in the American League Central. White Sox are 71-50, and they're playing Oakland today. That's the breakout in the Central. So they've won 3 in a row and 6 out of 10. Rays started the day having won 7 of their last 10. And a high popper. Mejia, and now down from third comes Wendell. Mejia was kind of moving Severino out of the way, and Wendell came down to make the play.
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting because you're right. Severino kind of hanging around there at the plate, and Mejia saying, hey, I'm trying to make a play here. Get out of my way. Here's what you're talking about. Ball straight up. And now Mejia trying to get a read on it. Get out of here.
You could hear Wendell come in and kind of save the day.
Yeah.
Or at least save the play. And here's Santander. That's a strike.
I mean, Severino, he got in Mejia's way because he was getting ready to walk back to the dugout.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be out, so let me turn and walk back the other way. And
cut a miss on that fastball at 95. 0-2.
well, this is an intriguing guy, Conley.
Yes,
if
isn't
you
he?
could, you know, I mean, already here in this outing, we've already seen the good fastball, that good breaking ball to start off this at bat, and a good changeup. Those three pitches, the deception of his delivery, where he comes at you with arms, legs, everything.
Swing and a miss, and he just blew that one right by Santander, who strikes out for the third time in this game. Rays Live postgame presented by Advent Health coming right up. Rich and Doug will anchor the coverage. We'll hear from Kevin Cash and interviews from the clubhouse. Well, the Rays on the verge of going 28 over 500, and Baltimore on the verge of losing their 15th consecutive game. Urias, that pitch is down and in. It's fouled out of play. Yankees will host Minnesota tonight in the Bronx. So the Rays an out away from going to a 5.5 game lead on New York. 6.5 up on Boston. One. Now it's the ball, 2 strikes.
That game, Dwayne, could potentially be on in the background at my house.
I gotcha.
It'll be that game or Cars, but one of them will be on.
Okay. We'll get a full report tomorrow. You've got all of the lines down for Cars, right?
Yes.
High fly ball back into deep center. Phillips still on the run, and that ball's going to get out of here. Urias hits one to the deepest part of the ballpark. That's his 6th home run and will make it a 7-2 game. So with 2 outs and nobody on in the 9th inning, Ramon Urias connects. So it's now 7-2.
Boy, he caught that fastball out in front. That's why it got the kind of carry that it did.
Teo takes a pitch down.
You're not going to let that pitch get deep. It kind of got pulled across the plate middle in, and he met it out in front. Big shot.
Teo fouls it.
Watch where he catches this and that carry.
Conley had a scoreless inning in the game here on Tuesday. Worked a 1-2-3 fifth. Got 2 outs here. Gave up the home run on a 1-2 pitch, and now he's 1-2 against Jorge Mateo, who has 2 hits today, extending his hitting streak to 10. And the Rays are an out, potentially a pitch away from closing this one out. And there it is, a cut to miss. Mateo out on strikes. The Rays win this one. It's a 7-2 final as the Rays go out to 75 and 47. They are 5.5 in front of New York. 28 games over 500. Sweeping Baltimore. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. The Rays are winners. 7-2. McClanahan gets his 8th win. Rays Live, the postgame comes your way next. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Well, the Rays didn't score 8, but they still score a sweep of the Orioles, led by a trio of left-handed bats with 2 RBIs each. Tampa Bay beats Baltimore 7-2, the final score, to make it 9 straight against the O's and 15 of the last 16 against the Birds. That ups the Rays' record to 75-47, 28 games above 500, and currently gives them a 5.5 game lead against New York, who is playing Minnesota later tonight. With that, we welcome you inside Tropicana Field, another victorious edition of Rays Live, the postgame, driven by Advent Health, alongside Doug Wechter. I'm Rich Hollenberg. You'll hear from Tricia Whitaker, Kevin Cash's press conference, all that and more coming up in just a little bit. Completing a sweep is impressive. A 4-game sweep, no matter who you play, is that much more impressive.
Well, you hardly ever see it. I mean, no matter how bad the other team is in the major leagues, it's almost impossible to get a 4-game sweep. We've had one earlier this year, and now we have another one against the Baltimore Orioles. And I'll tell you, going into this, you're wanting to get the series. Absolutely, no doubt. If you're the Tampa Bay Rays, you're looking for 3 out of 4 games. But to be able to take an entire sweep away from Baltimore, 4 in a row, that is very, very difficult to do, and the Rays just did it. I mean, the offense has been on point. The biggest shock today is they didn't get 8 runs, so we don't get half off Papa John's. But, I mean, my goodness, this is the way they've been playing. You're welcoming the White Sox coming into Tropicana because, I mean, you couldn't see a better Rays team right now.
They only need 6 to get Papa John's.
Well, then there we go,
50%
boys.
off. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
I'm excited again.
10th sweep of the season by the Rays, and the 3rd 4-game sweep. That's the most they've ever had in any given season in the franchise's 24 years. Today, it wasn't so much the offense that was the headline, though. Our Advent Health Highlights leads off with Shane McClanahan picking up yet another victory, the 5th in his last 6 outings.
I thought he was fantastic today. There's a lot of things to like about Shane McClanahan. The stuff jumps off the page at you. He's so young, but so effective in the strike zone, attacks the strike zone. His curveball was on point today. 8 punch-outs, 6 of them on the curveball. And look, one thing I really like about Shane McClanahan, people are starting to talk like, hey, why are we starting to see 92, 94 miles an hour when this guy throws 100 miles an hour? I personally think that's a sign of maturity. He's going out there and he's able to get outs at 92, 94, 95 miles an hour. And when he needs to, he goes back, reaches back, and gets the triple digits. That's really what you see the best pitchers in the league do. And McClanahan is on his way to being one of those top-tier starters. 8
strikeouts, ties for a career high, and obviously a season high. Does he show you the stuff right now that makes him the #1 starter should a playoff series begin tomorrow?
Yes, 100% he's your #1. In my mind, he's your #1, and he's getting better and better. It's not just the line score that I'm looking at. When I say that he's getting better and better, I'm looking at the secondary stuff, right? I'm looking at his off-speed pitches. I'm looking not just the fastball, not just the way he attacks his own. How's the slider coming around? How's the curveball? How's the changeup? He threw his changeup 10% of the time. That's more than any other game, right? He's starting to use that changeup as his 4th pitch. His curveball, he threw more than the slider. His slider's always been his second best pitch. Now he utilized the curveball more today than the slider because it was just a little bit better. That's the sign of a mature pitcher, and that's a sign of a guy who can take the ball, you know, game 1 of a rotation and go up against anybody else's ace and really put your team in a good spot.
Rays scored early, built a comfortable lead, and Shane McClanahan handed the ball off to the big left-hander Dietrich Enns.
Yes, Dietrich Enns. Great job by Enns going lefty and really shutting down this Orioles lineup. Took the ball from McClanahan and continued to do what McClanahan did. 3 innings pitched, 4 punch-outs. Fastball looked very, very sharp. And just in 48 pitches, he was able to get through 3 innings clean. You know, he did give up 2 hits, but again, the Rays pitching to contact. You know, McClanahan had, what, 1 walk? Ends had 0 walks. So these guys are in the strike zone the entire time with plus stuff. It just means good things are happening.
All right, good things have been happening for the offense ever since the All-Star break. Really, the best offense in baseball in the last month or so. And really, you look at the top of the order and you say, everyone's talking about being thick and 1 through 9 and all that. You need a table setter, and that table setter has been Brandon Lau at the top of the order.
How about a table setter with 29 bombs? Have you seen that lately? Well, Brandon Lau has it. He went out there and got his 29th today. He had 2 hits on the day. Started the game out with this double right here and really set the tone for the Tampa Bay Rays. I mean, ever since then, they got to Lopez early, and he was a big reason for it. But there it is. That's the home run, and what is rare about this home run is that was off a breaking ball. Typically, when he gets his power, it's off the fastball. He has 22 fastball home runs this year. This one, his 5th home run off the breaking ball. That one going out at 104. StatCast Google Cloud had it. And fantastic job right there by Brandon Lau.
2 for 4 today over his last 12 games. He's hitting .409 with 6 home runs. And that OPS,
I was about to say, check out that OPS.
I didn't know an OPS went that high.
I know, 1,400. Are you kidding me? That's those numbers are pretty healthy.
Yeah, we talk about Brandon Lau being 3 true outcomes: home runs, strikeouts, and walks. A lot more home runs than strikeouts and walks lately for Mr. Lau, who is on the field, speaking with our Trisha Whitaker.
All right, Brandon, home run number 29 for you on this season. That's a career high. Take me through how you were able to launch that 2-run shot.
Not trying to do too much. Understanding that, the guy on the mound didn't have his greatest stuff today, but, staying with the off-speed pitch and not trying to do too much with it. Let the, big part of the bat do the job.
It's been quite an August for you. 20 RBI in 17 games. What's in the water?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I think just feeling normal, getting back to how I felt during the season last year, and writing the things down that feel good. Making sure I have a basis to come back to if I ever lose it again.
What'd you write down?
I can't tell you that. It's a secret for me.
What did you notice that you needed to do different?
One of the biggest things is coming back here, and I was telling Luplo this earlier, just kind of flipping off some switches. Not trying to do too much, getting up there and stay quiet, be on time and hit the baseball hard, not trying to hit a ball off the back wall or, try to hit grand slams every single time, get up there, hit a single, play good baseball.
You guys sweep the series against Baltimore. Is that a pretty big momentum boost for you guys going into a big series against one of the other best teams in the majors?
Yeah, I mean, there's no easy games in the season. The Orioles are still a good team, and to come out and sweep a series, build that momentum into a very good Chicago team that we're more than likely going to see somewhere else down the line. It's definitely going to be big to come in confident and ready to go.
Congratulations, Brandon. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, back to you.
So Brandon Lau leading things off with that double and then the home run that you talked about, Doug. And then right behind him, Wander Franco's got himself a 4-game hit streak, 7 for his last 14, but he now has a 21-game on-base streak.
Yeah, it's so impressive. This guy is just finding ways to get on. Unfortunately, the first at-bat was the way he got on. A little hit by pitch right in the ribs. Franco built like a tank. He's going to be fine. There you see it, up and in. Never comfortable to have that going on, especially in the first inning. You're not expecting that one. But behind that, he goes out there and does what he's been doing, driving the ball up the middle, hitting so good from both the right-handed and left-handed side. This kid is just locked in, and he's looking very special.
And then another rookie, Randy Arozarena, continues to rake an 11-game hit streak now.
And on base 18 straight games. So you got a 21-gamer and an 18-gamer right here in Randy Arozarena. Arozarena just doing a great job getting on base consistently throughout this stretch. He's hitting for power. He's hitting for average. He's running the bases well, playing good defense. This kid is just doing it all as well. Between Franco and Arozarena, I mean, you got some exciting baseball going on in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I would say so. Those are the 2 longest active on-base streaks in all of baseball. 2 rookies are doing that right now for the Rays and just fitting in this Papa John's box score. As you see, it's not like they're the only ones with Brandon Lau hitting at the top of the order. I mentioned at the top of the show, 3 left-handers had 2 RBIs each. Lau, we saw. Austin Meadows had 2 RBIs on 2 walks. And G-Man Choi had that 2-run single as well.
Well, it's production top to bottom, right, Rich? 6 out of the 9 hitters got a hit. Yesterday's game, 9 out of 9 hitters got a hit. I mean, these guys 1 through 9 are all producing.
Don't forget, the Rays scored 6 or more runs.
6 runs, Papa John's,
So everyone tomorrow gets 50% off their orders online or on the app using papajohns.com. Promo code RAYS6. As we go to break, we take one more look at Brandon Lau's sweet swing. That was home run number 29 on the season for him and his 6th in his last dozen games. It leads to a Rays win, 7-2. We'll hear from Kevin. Rays Live, the postgame show on Valley Sports, is presented by Advent Health. Trust the ER experts at Advent Health. Learn more at theerexperts.com. Rays beat Baltimore 7-2 to complete the 4-game sweep at Tropicana Field, giving them 75 wins on the year. Only 2 teams have more wins in all of baseball, the Giants and the LA Dodgers. Must sound good to manager Kevin Cash.
Kevin, first of all, I wanted to start with Shane. He looked quite solid out there, efficient. Did it look like maybe all of his pitches were feeling good today? What did he do so well?
Yeah, it looked like he had both the spinning ones, the curveball and the slider were really good. He threw some good curveballs against Minnesota last time out, and he kind of backed it up against Baltimore today. Just a very professional outing. I think he stayed with himself really, really well. We got him a lead, and he was able to go out there and execute pitches, and certainly had more left, but felt at that point after 5 innings that given his workload, and now I think, we're going to have probably 7, 8 days probably penciled in to start next Friday against the Orioles. It gives him a little bit of a rest. So I think he'll benefit from that. And then Dietrich Enns comes in, does his thing, and Akon at the end.
And then Brandon Lau, he's been on quite the tear in August, and it continued today. I know we touched on him yesterday, but I'd imagine you're pretty happy with this past month for him. Yeah, I mean, look, how can you not be? He comes up with the big leadoff double, gets us going early, and then hits the home run on a kind of a big curveball, stayed on it. But Brandon is swinging as hot a bat as anybody on our team, maybe in baseball right now, and he's doing it with just a lot of power. And then generally, does it feel pretty good to have maybe this momentum of a sweep and playing so well heading into a series? You guys is one of the best teams in the league, and the White Sox also one of the best in the league. Yeah, I mean, you'd like to feel good about yourselves going into a series against Chicago. They've played well all year long. They've gotten, good starting pitching. They added to their bullpen at the deadline. They've got a very good bullpen, and their offense is very strong top to bottom. So look forward to, hopefully carrying some momentum into our 3-game weekend series.
So just offensively right now, you guys are pretty much getting it done in a variety of ways, homers, walks, putting the ball in play. Do you feel like it's just kind of a complete series for you offensively, what you guys are able to do? Yeah, I mean, it's been feeling like that for, even on the road trip, we were doing some pretty special things, and it just carried right into this first part of the homestand. G-Man's hitting balls the other way. Brandon's knocking balls out of the ballpark. Wander's getting on base, it seems like, constantly. Just a lot of players are doing some big things to help us get wins. You touched on it with Enns, but can you speak to just kind of generally what the bullpen has done for you? Some of those guys kind of easing the workload. You haven't really had to run guys out day after day, back to back, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, look, we got in a spot coming out of the Minnesota series that we needed to freshen these guys up a little bit, and we were able to do that because of the work of Chris Ellis, Lewis Head, Dietrich Enns today, Sean Armstrong, what he did yesterday. So it does help with some of our back end guys to catch their breath a little bit, and we should be set up pretty well now going into this weekend series.
Kevin, you described Shane as a professional outing, and you look at his rookie season, and I guess he's had a few bumps and bruises, but for the most part, would you say that's how he's been most of the year, that kind of steadiness and dependability that he's shown you?
Yeah, look, I don't think you could ask anything more than what Shane has given us for 20 starts. his first season. Bumps and bruises. I probably wouldn't describe it that way. I would say that he has been steady, and anytime he had to deal with a little bit of adversity, he's shown the ability to bounce right back from an inning. He's done a lot of good things, and he continues to get better. That outing today just, it looked just really clean. He was efficient. He kind of felt like he was throwing the ball where he wanted to, and executing his game the way he went into thinking that it was possible.
And could you also speak of how you guys approach this series with, coming on home stretch in the division, you looking to take care of business, and it seems like in all these games, that's exactly what you did from start to finish. You did what you needed to do.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with your ability to do that and not have any major, scuffles through the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, good teams find ways to win, and that's kind of how we view it. Like, we put ourselves in position to win. We want to make sure that we get that 27th out, and we're shaking hands. This game's tough. These teams are tough. On any given moment, a tough pitching performance can go sideways on you real quick. So it takes a full team effort to get these wins, and right now that's what we're seeing.
Hey, Kevin, the offense has been pretty incredible the last couple of weeks. I know it's a small sample size, but does this feel like a better hitting team going into September than you had last year?
Man, it's different. I don't know if I would say better. It's a different hitting club. Certainly the addition of Nelson Cruz. You know what? Probably so. We were battling injuries between Yandy, between Meadows, between G-Man there at the end of the last year. Where these guys are, right in stride right now and healthy. So I think that's fair to say, yeah.
Did Zunino show up all right? Saw him down there in the dugout earlier.
Yeah, he's good. I would anticipate him being back in the lineup tomorrow.
That's good to hear about Mike Zunino. That was Kevin Cash in his post-game press conference, and we already discussed and showed you another stellar effort from Shane McClanahan, who has won 5 of his last 6 decisions, and it seems like the team enjoys playing behind him as well.
Well, it's easy to play behind a guy who throws a ton of strikes. When you go out there and you're pumping strikes, that means your defense is ready to play behind you because they're anticipating the ball getting hit to them on every single pitch. When you got a guy going out there struggling with command, never getting ahead of batters, and not pitching to contact, that's when you see more errors being made. But, boy, I'll tell you, with McClanahan, the power stuff that stays in the zone, I mean, it is looking very sharp for him right now.
All right, let's go inside the Zoom room and hear from today's winning pitcher, Shane McClanahan.
Shane, a solid day for you. Cash mentioned how clean and efficient you were able to be. Did it feel like all your pitches were working pretty well today?
Yeah, I felt good today. A lot of good plays behind me as usual. But, yeah, I felt like I did a good job of attacking the zone today.
What specifically felt good to you besides just attacking the zone?
My body felt good. I felt like I was pretty locked in, and I think the two of those things together, I guess, just kind of helps me out to fill it up with everything I got.
Does it feel like you've gotten maybe more and more efficient as the season has gone on?
Yeah, I like to think so. I mean, I'm working my tail off to become more efficient, go deeper into ball games and, eventually pitch in the 7th, 8th, 9th. And, obviously I know that starts with me and, throwing strikes. So I think that was one thing I really focused on today, was trying to get ahead early.
And then just generally to get this win, does it feel good to maybe have the momentum of a sweep heading into a series where it's you guys and one of the other best teams in the league?
Yeah, the boys are rolling. We're excited for Chicago to come into town, and these next 3 games are going to be awesome. We love the high pressure situations, and we thrive under them. So this team's ready.
Shane, Cash was just in here, and you mentioned you being, words like reliable and steady. Just what does that mean to you, to be a guy that the team can kind of count on at this point every 5 days?
I think that says something about how hard I've been trying to work to myself. I've been trying to put in the work, the extra running, the lifting, just trying to learn from every outing. Whether good or bad, just try and pick something out of it and improve upon, and see something maybe I did good, even if it wasn't a good outing, maybe I had a good attitude or something like that. But, for Cash to say that, that's ultimately my only goal is, help this team win and, pitch deep into games and ultimately, like I said, just get a lot of wins.
seemed like a curveball was really on today. Is there anything that's kind of clicked into place with that pitch recently, or today especially, that made it really effective?
Yeah, I think the curveballs felt good last. God, I can't even remember how many outings, but everything's been feeling pretty good. And today Frankie now had a good rhythm, and the curveball was there, so we just kept throwing it, and ultimately had a little success.
Shane, when you guys last played the White Sox, that's when Tyler Glasnow got hurt, and since then, he's been out, and also you've had an incredible amount of injuries to your bullpen. During that span, have you consciously or subconsciously kind of said, more responsibilities on me, I've got to take it up a notch? I mean, have you felt that or thought that I've just got to be the guy here and be as solid as I can?
No, I think once you put expectations on yourself, it's you can somewhat fail. I think just trying to control what you can control. How hard you work and the pitches you throw. I think just trying to go out there every game and trying to put the team in a position to win. That's really every single pitcher's goal here, is to help this team ultimately win. And we all do it. And, we're not. I think we're very unselfish players. We only want one thing, and that's this team to do what it's supposed to do, and that's win a lot of games. So, but I don't really think anyone's really felt the need or pressure to step up, including myself, because I know every single person who's going to get that ball behind me or after me, whatever, is going to do their job.
Any additional questions?
Yeah, Shane, what's it like just watching this lineup right now? I mean, really, since Nelson came over, it's been one of the best groups in baseball. Just what's it like seeing them do what they're doing on kind of a daily basis now? It's
awesome. I think Nelly was that spark we were missing. Even if something happens with a lot of guys, it's like you have that guy after them that's going to take their spot and do the job. So it's like if one guy doesn't do it one day, somebody will step up the next. So it's like a revolving door. And I think this last couple of weeks, you've seen everybody start to click. So it's been a lot of fun.
That was Shane McClanahan, today's winning pitcher. The Rays improved to 39-22 at home. That's the second most home wins in the American League. The team with the most is the team that's coming to town next, the Chicago White Sox. We'll have a preview when the postgame show returns right after this.
Sports Sun.
Rays Live, the postgame show on Valley Sports, is presented by Advent Health. Trust the ER experts at Advent Health. Learn more at theerexperts.com. Right now, it's a three-team race for the best team in the American League. The Rays are that team, but right behind them, it could be the Houston Astros or the Chicago White Sox. Right now, as it stands, the Rays could be up 4 games on Houston for best record in the American League if they lose to Kansas City. And then you have our Toyota Road Ahead, which features the Chicago White Sox running away with the AL Central.
They're running away with it, but man, this is going to be a great series. Tampa Bay obviously playing extremely good baseball, but so are the Chicago White Sox. They got some strong pitching, Giolito and Keuchel, the first 2 matchups. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a real fun one at the Trop. Hopefully the Rays can take the series.
And we could very well see the return of one Chris Archer to the pitching rotation in some way, shape, or form. A night game on Friday, 2 day games Saturday and Sunday. We hope you'll join us here on Valley Sports for all of it. It was another win today for the Tampa Bay Rays. 7-2 to complete a 4-game sweep, their 3rd such sweep of this 2021 season. For everybody here at Valley Sports, including my broadcast partner, Doug Wechter, I'm Rich Hollenberg saying so long, enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you tomorrow night for more Rays baseball.